Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review covers the 2010 Dodge Challenger SRT8 in 1/25th scale. It's AMT kit number A688, and it's still available at secondary markets and online auctions. Now, it was a direct release, re-release of the 2008 Challenger kit number 615, and it's a showroom's replica kit from AMT, which means it's a curbside kit. There's no engine, but it does contain a full interior and well-detailed body and chassis. Now, the kit has about 50 pieces molded in white, chrome, black vinyl, and clear with some metal axles, which means it's a quick builder and it makes for a great display. There's a full set of decals in different colors and also a nice instructional set. Overall, when you're done, it's about 8 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 2.5 inches high. Here are the kit's contents, and as you can see, it's got a nice separately bagged aspect to it to protect the parts from each other, especially keeping those tires off of any of the plastic. And the decals are nicely registered, and they are very colorful with different options, so you can paint your vehicle just about any color and match these decals to it. I suggest using some of the aftermarket setting solution for these, especially the larger decals, as they can use some help conforming to the contours of the body. Start this build with the wheels, but you should remember to use caution and follow the safety and use guidelines when you use any of the products that you see or hear mentioned in the review. We'll be using mostly liquid cement for the plastic, sometimes super glue for strength and fragile parts, and white glue for the window glass. As we look here, we're first going to take and cut out the inner area of the tires and then slide the rims into the tires. And for a nice realistic look, you can press and roll the tread on a flat sheet of 220 grit sandpaper to give them a road worn look. These parts out of the kit, and we'll start to work on the chassis and paint that flat black. Now, the brakes are steel color with some red calipers. Remember to scrape off any paint or glue from areas where you're going to use some glue to join the parts together for a good bond. Now, install the brakes onto the spindle areas and then slip the axles into one tire. Press it in and then put the axle through the chassis there, and then press the other tire and wheel onto the other side. Now, paint the exhaust steel and put that into place as well. Talk about easy. We are now already at the state of a rolling chassis, and the chassis is finished, so just set that aside for now. Gather up the parts for your interior, and note that the seats are vinyl and they do not take paint very well, so just leave them as they are. They actually look pretty good with the sheen from the vinyl. And paint the others pieces here black, a semi-gloss black. And now the dash is also painted flat black, and then the decals are put into position there in the instrument gauge cluster. Once the parts are dry, we can install all of the seats and just press those vinyl seats into position there, and also assemble the steering column and the wheel, and install the door panels and the pedals behind the dash and the shifters, and then add the column and wheel to the dash, and then set the dash into position, and then the finished interior is set aside for later. So grab those parts for the body and sand off the script on the inside of the roof of the car there. Sand that off so it doesn't show through if you use a light color. And then go ahead and sand all the parts and including the parting lines and any flash or anything that you see there, and assemble the body pieces together, and then once again look it over for any blemishes, and then prime the parts inside and out as a unit. The body now assembled, I gave the exterior and a coat of silver as a base because I wanted a bright look to my finish. And then I painted it with sublime green, and then I used a Tamiya candy lime green over the top for a nice appearance in the sun, so that it had a different glimmer at different angles. Once the paint is dry, add your decals to the body, and also there's a decal that goes on the windshield, and that'll be installed with the windshield. But after you get the decals on the body, and I suggest you use some of the setting solution for them larger decals, let that dry overnight, and then give it a clear coat to seal the decals into position. I dipped the glass into some future floor polish, and then wicked it off and let it dry for a nice clear, clean look. And then install the glass with some white glue. But the side windows, however, they are a snap fit. Be careful when you're installing those because they're kind of thin, and be cautious so that you don't break that glass. Locate some gluing points and then go ahead and assemble the interior into the car. It should go right into position. It's a good fit. Just use some strong glue, maybe even epoxy, to secure it into position there. Now it's time to glue the chassis into position, and use the gluing posts there and receivers, and go ahead and glue that into place. Then you can install that front roll pan or dam there on the underside, and that will complete major construction. And as you can see, we're going to add the extras to the body now. You can install the grills and the mirrors, and gas caps, which I left in a semi-gloss black for that sporty look. And you can put the headlights and things into place using some white glue so that it will dry clear. At the back end, you can go ahead and add the spoiler with a small decal on that, and the tail lights. And I decided to personalize my Challenger with a nice looking license tag of my logo. So I just printed that out on an inkjet printer, and then put some tape on both sides and glued it into place. Well, there you have it. This quick builder is an awesome looking kit, and it makes for a nice showroom display. As we mentioned, there's no engine, so it really only takes about 8 hours of work, especially if you've got some quick drying body paint. So you can get this done in a weekend and have something to show for your efforts. So if I were you, I'd buy one and put it on my shelf. We hope you liked this step-by-step premium model kit review. And so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can find us on Facebook and at rightonreplicas.com. Thanks.